Welcome to Your Bookkeeping Matters. I'm Lisa Turner, bringing you short and snackable weekly episodes on bookkeeping and business matters in an easy to understand way so you can be in control and confident that you know your bookkeeping matters. Let's dive into this week's episode. Hello, my lovely listener, and welcome to another short and snackable weekly episode of Your Bookkeeping Matters. A super short one today, diving into the financial C's of something which often feels difficult to get your head around and simplifying it for you because it's crucial to your business success and your profitability, understanding your fixed and variable spending or costs. Now, I know the words fixed and variable might trigger some flashbacks to high school maths, but don't stress, I've got bite-sized number pieces for you today, making it not only understandable, but actionable for you and your business. By the end of this episode, you'll be a pro at working out which expense type your spending falls into and boosting your financial savvy. You know your numbers. First up, let's tackle fixed costs. These are the steady, predictable expenses which pretty much stay the same month after month. Things like your rent, insurances, leases, wages for your permanent staff. They're the bills you've got to pay even if your doors are closed for a day. Now, why does this matter? Well, understanding these costs not only brings stability to your budget, but also plays a crucial role in setting prices that actually make you a profit. If you've heard people talk about overheads, this is them. Your fixed costs are time block based, like monthly or yearly, sometimes even weekly. The more fixed costs you have, the higher your sales have to be to cover them all. Now, check out your profit and loss report and don't stress if it's not super up to date. And see if you can identify at least 3 of your fixed cost items, if not all of them. These are the building blocks of your pricing strategy, so get familiar with them. On to variable costs, and it's pretty easy to guess. These are fluctuating costs where they go up and down. These are your cost of goods. These change with how much or how many of your products and services you sell. And also your marketing costs are mainly variable unless you're on a fixed retainer with them. But even then, you would still have variable ad spend, your bank fees and merchant or payment provider fees, and also casual wages are also variable. And your variable costs are volume or performance-based, as in how much of something was made or used, or hours worked for those casual wages, how much print or production. So if you sold more of something, the cost of goods to build, make, or purchase stock or parts increases. If you sell less, your costs are less. These variable costs are a little harder to predict and can have the most impact on your profitability if you don't keep a close eye on them. Knowing the ins and outs of these costs allows you to adapt your pricing strategy based on the fluctuations so you can make sure your profits stay healthy even when things change. Your utilities like your phone, internet, power, these things can fall into either category depending on your contract or terms. Mobile phones these days mainly fall into fixed costs, but if you're not on a plan or have a landline, the costs change month to month, so they're variable. Same with the others, it depends on your contract. Now, you've already marked out on your profit and loss your fixed costs, and the rest should be variable, as in they change. So now you know both types. See how you went marking out those fixed and variable costs on that profit and loss. And with your variable costs, something you can proactively do regularly is look for ways to optimize them, make the most of them, or negotiate the costs. So your phone or power bill, do regular checks to see if it would be better to change. Remember though, don't base your decisions solely on costs, as you do get what you pay for, and you shouldn't compare on cost alone unless it's like for like. But there will always be different features or value, so keep this in mind also when reviewing prices and contracts. Your pricing strategy can be a very powerful tool in your business when it comes to managing your fixed and variable costs. For instance, if you sell physical products, if you were to put a minimum order quantity or MOQ, if it's aligned with your business and goals, it can help you cover costs more efficiently, because it can be a tricky balance with your pricing and covering costs. And a big favorite of mine, memberships or subscription-based pricing, if this is something in line with your products or services, because you then get some more stability with those items. How do fixed and variable costs go together now we've identified them and know a little bit more about them? Well, there are so many different ways and scenarios, as it is unique for each and every business. What might be a fixed cost for one business could be a variable for another, or maybe not even exist. And this is why it's important to be across yours and know how to keep an eye on them. Digging a little bit deeper into your fixed costs, understanding and calculating them is not only about day-to-day operations. It's a strategic move for future planning and financial security. Imagine having a safety buffer of funds squirreled away into your savings, covering your fixed costs for at least 3 months. It can provide you peace of mind with a little financial cushion. Whether you prefer a 2-month buffer, 6 months, being a little more robust, but knowing your fixed costs allows you to set realistic savings goals to navigate yourself through to save these buffers and navigate challenges if they pop up in your cash flow. Another big reason to know your numbers and which are fixed and which are variable, if you're planning to scale or grow, it gives you the knowledge to do this strategically. You can do different scenarios projecting your expenses, and you know your fixed costs are your baseline. Which ones will need to change to suit the growth you're planning for, and by how much. And your variables, on the other hand, they'll fluctuate with your sales. Even with scaling, these costs change, but you can plan for them and identify areas you need to make more cost effective before diving in, because you want to make sure your costs won't jump too high and the growth isn't profitable. Lastly, embrace technology and software. Leveraging these in your business and its costs can be a game changer. I, of course, had to throw this into today's episode to see your numbers accurately, which are fixed, which are variable, how much and when. You totally need to be on accounting software. My favorite, of course, is Xero. So if you're still on spreadsheets, you need to ditch them. Streamline your financials and gain some productivity, more insight and reports with less room for errors and all things automated. So you can supercharge your financials and make great business decisions which are data-driven and not winging it, not by guessing by the bank balance, not by how much you think are your fixed costs each month. And there you have it. Your fixed and variable spending are no longer a mystery. If you found it helpful, you'll love my digital training, Bookkeeping Matters Blueprint, which next opens early in the new year. We go through loads of the essentials in your small business numbers journey. Jump over and pop your name on the waitlist to be the first to know when you can get your hands on it at accountedforyou.com.au/BMB, and it will be linked in the show notes for you. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate you spending your time listening to me and hope you found this episode helpful. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I would love it if you could pop a review in. I look forward to chatting to you next week.